Creator. And basically they're greeting you in terms of all that there is. They go on to talk about polarity. We have two ways of working, spiritually speaking, according to the Confederation Information, Ra, Kuo, and other entities I've channeled. There's a service to others' path of polarity, and there's a service to self path of polarity. And basically, you focus on one of those. You make a choice. This is called the density of choice by Ra. We're here to make a choice. We're here for only 75,000 or so years. And in cosmic terms, this is really like a blink, a heartbeat. But because of the fact that we're here not to refine anything, but simply to make that first choice of a self-aware, ethically oriented individual. It's a short density. This is third density. The densities, according to Ra, span the experience that we have of being sent out from the Creator to learn, witness, act.
I want to ask you a quick question about density. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Density is interesting because can you give a definition of what first, second, third, and fourth density is?
I'd be glad to.
So we also
tell you all of them very quickly. First density is the density of elements and powers, the chemicals, wind, fire, earth, water. Second density is the density of plants and animals. They're striving towards the sun. It's the density of growth, turning towards the light, advancing up to the point where they could graduate into third density, which is the density of choice. In this density, we are self-aware. We become aware of ourselves, which animals basically do not do. They are perfectly aware. They're intensely aware, but they're not self-aware. We, on the other hand, are very self-aware, sometimes agonizingly so. And so we're making a choice here. By our free will, we are choosing to express love and light by serving others, or expressing the love and light of the infinite Creator by serving ourselves and causing everyone else to obey us and to be controlled by us. So you have your choice of being a positively oriented entity and moving on to fourth density positive, or you have your choice of becoming more and more polarized as a service to self entity until you are able to graduate in the negative sense. Percentage-wise, if you're 51% or more oriented in service to others, if more than half of the time, basically, you're thinking about whatever relationship you're dealing with in terms of how to serve that person, you're ready to graduate. On the other hand, if you are a negatively oriented entity, it's quite hard. You have to be intending to serve others no more than 5% of the time. 95% of the time, you have to be thinking about numero uno. I am a service to others polarized person, and I think the people that I'm talking to are also. So when you've made your choice of polarity, you simply press on. Naturally, we all fail a lot, but you get up and shake yourself off and know that every day is a new day. And as long as you're just trying to be a good person and do the right thing, you'll probably graduate. You're probably there already. And what you do in this density is you don't just use your mind, you don't just use your body, you also use what the Ra called the energy body, which is an electrical type body, which the Buddhists talk about quite a bit, and yogis, that intermingles with the spine from the bottom to the top. And these energies are that which you work with. In this life, your catalyst comes in through the red ray first, and then up the rainbow colors of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So we're in an illusion where the things that we see are not actually as visible or important to us as the things that we can't see, what our energy body is doing, what our vibrational level is, how we're tuning, and so forth. Now, where we're aiming in this density of choice is fourth density, which is the density of love and understanding. It splits. The path splits at that point to reunite two densities later in sixth density. So you're either seeking to polarize further to refine that choice in fourth density, the density of love, and then in fifth density, the density of wisdom. The sixth density is where it all comes together again because of the fact that the service to self polarity, which the Ra called the path of that which is not, because it leaves out love. They can't move any further. They can't learn anymore. They come to a dead end. And they're sitting here looking at the cul-de-sac wall and thinking, I'm going to have to revisit this thing about love. So they're sort of like new Catholics or new
like a born again or something like that.
Like a born again Christian or Jew or whatever, and they become more polarized towards love than the people that have already made that choice because they just gotta go. So the sixth density, the density of unity, is where you take all that you've learned about love, all that you've learned about wisdom, and you unify those two paths of awareness, so that you are expressing love with wisdom, you are expressing wisdom with compassion. And a lot of people are wanderers from sixth density. There are some from fifth and very few from fourth, although just recently the graduation's already started on planet Earth. And so far, as I understand it from the readings, almost everyone that has, at the time of their death, the transition into larger life, gone through the steps of light process and found themselves to have graduated because they're comfortable with the steps of light that are fuller than third density. So they automatically choose your next density, not because of judgment, but because of comfort. You choose where you're comfortable in terms of the density of light. That's what the densities mean. How dense is the light? How dense is that light with information? So you're not just getting more light in fourth density, you're getting a different type of light. That's what all these particles are all about that we're starting to see. The physicists are going mad trying to figure out what is this. Well, it's fourth density characteristics starting to bleed through into the waning light of third density. So it's a marvelous thing to get into fourth density light with all that extra information. You have so many more choices. But the interesting thing is that people newly graduated from Earth are going, I can do anything I want. Well, here's the path of service I'd like to do right now because my third density planet is having a hard time. I think I want to go back and help. So then, bam, you've got more and more and more millions of people on the Earth. Probably, as I was telling you earlier, Renee, probably almost everybody that's under 30 is a wanderer from fourth density now. Just, touching base and then coming right back because there is this overwhelming desire to help the rest of the global tribe of humans.
Oh, like a phase. So I've heard that before, that word, like phasing, different phases. People are coming in different phases.
Yeah. Well, there are actually three generations of wanderers. I'm a wanderer of the first generation. I'm an oldie. I came in a long time ago, and probably have been here at least one minor cycle, at least 25,000 years. And my hope was to help, to lighten the planetary consciousness. There was a second generation that coincides neatly with the Generation X. And this is a group of people that became aware of how efficient third density was and how if they piled in at this very intense, very catalyst-full point in our history, they could get a lot of balancing done, they could make a big change in their